Hey, amazing third graders. Welcome back. It's me, Miss Cummings, and today we are in ARC Unit 2, Week 2, Day 3. Today, you will be able to identify the topic, main idea, and key details of a text. You'll also be able to write a 4-point summary. Now remember, over the next 9 weeks, we will be reading, writing, and talking about the big ideas of weather and climate. You will research a topic dealing with weather, and you're going to be able to write an informational book. I know, you'll be an informational author. Sounds good. So today, you will need this graphic organizer for today's lesson. If your teacher was able to provide you with a copy and you were able to print it off, awesome sauce. If not, pause the video and copy this graphic organizer into your notebook now. All right, welcome back. So we've been here before. We've talked about topics, supporting details, and main idea. And we've also written a summary in the past. Today, we're going to review those concepts and put them into practice even more. So first, we have our topic. What is the text mostly about? And this can usually be described in 1 to 2 words. Next are supporting details. What is the author saying about our topic? Usually, we try to find at least 3 supporting details about our topic, but to find 1 or 2 is also okay. Next, we also talk about the main idea. What does the author want us to learn from reading the text? We're going to do a quick review using tornado alert. Most tornadoes occur during April, May, and June. That's when cold air meets warm air near the Earth's surface. The cold air pushes under the warm air. The warm air is lighter than the cold air and rises rapidly. As the warm air moves upward, it spins around or twists. That's why tornadoes are sometimes called twisters. Some people call them cyclones. The wind speed around the funnel of the tornado may reach 300 miles per hour. No other wind on Earth blows that fast. Take a second. What is the topic of this text? What is this text all about? Try to sum it up in 1 word. All right, on the count of 3, we're going to shout out our word and see if we get the same word. 1, 2, 3, tornadoes! Did you say the same thing? Awesome. All right, so the text is all about tornadoes. What is the author saying about our topic? Take a second to zoom into the text and see if you can pinpoint some key details that our author shares about our topic. All right, how'd you do? Let's see if we got the same thing. So, I said that tornadoes are caused by warm and cool air, and I also shared that as the warm air moves upward, it spins around and twists. Now we need to decide, what is the main idea? If we had to sum up what this article is about in 1 sentence, what would you say? Take a second to think about it. Now let's see if we came up with something similar. I said the main idea of the text is what causes tornadoes. What'd you come up with? Interesting. Let's keep moving. Now we're getting into our read aloud time. We'll be reading What is a Hurricane on pages 12 and 13. You can access this text on the ARC bookshelf. Your teacher also may have provided this text for you. But if you do need to access this book via ARC bookshelf, make sure that you log into NC Ed Cloud, click the Clever link, click the ARC bookshelf app, and once inside, you'll click on Thematic Libraries. Unit 2, 3rd grade, Weather. Scroll down and check for What is a Hurricane? So let's jump into our read aloud. What are hurricanes? As we're reading this together, I'd like for you to keep in mind, what is this section mostly about? What are the key details? And what is the main idea? We'll be reading the section called Making Landfall. A lot of times, the title of this section will tell us the topic of the text. Let's jump into it. Hurricanes form over oceans, but sometimes they blow onto land. This is called making landfall. When hurricanes reach land, they bring heavy rains and very strong winds. The winds can rip trees out of the ground. It can destroy buildings. It can even lift heavy objects such as cars and mobile homes up in the air. Let's check out our caption. Places near ocean coasts are most at risk when hurricanes make landfall. Storm surges. Hurricanes also cause storm surges. A storm surge is a wall of ocean water that is pushed onto the shore by strong winds. The fast-moving water can wash away homes and other buildings. It can damage land, roads, and bridges. Storm surges and heavy rain can also cause floods. Let's read our caption. Storm surges can be higher than some houses. Wow. So now let's dissect this text. Let's start with, what is this text all about? On the count of 3, let's see if we came up with the same answer. 1, 2, 3. Hurricanes. If you said hurricanes, you are on the money. This text is all about hurricanes. What key details does it tell us about hurricanes? Let's look at our first detail. Hurricanes form over oceans, but sometimes they blow onto land. This is called making landfall, when hurricanes reach land, so let's pause there. Basically, this entire section is all about hurricanes making it to land. Let's look at the next section. They bring heavy rain and very strong winds. The wind can rip trees out of the ground. It can destroy buildings. It can even lift heavy objects such as cars, mobile homes up into the air. So now the second detail is telling us that when these hurricanes hit land, boy, are they destructible. So let's look at our third detail. The fast-moving water can wash away homes and other buildings. It can damage land, roads, and bridges. So this particular section is also about the damage caused by hurricanes that reach land. So some of our key details is 1, landfall is when hurricanes reach land. Trees, homes, and buildings can be destroyed during a hurricane. Both of these sections talk about the damage, so I just summed them into one detail. You can do 3 if you like. Next, let's talk about the main idea. What message is the author trying to convey through these key details? What is he trying to communicate with us? Take a second and see if you can sum it up in a sentence. All right, let's see if we came up with something similar. These details together communicate how hurricanes can be destructive when they hit land. Did you have something similar? Excellent, I knew you would. Remember we copied down this graphic organizer? Now we're going to do it piece by piece together. So, the first part is we're going to introduce the text and the author. We can use the sentence starter, I read blank by blank. It'll sound like this once we've done it correctly. I read What is a Hurricane by Robin Johnson. The next part of our graphic organizer tells us to state the topic. Let's remember that the topic of the text is all about hurricanes. We would say the topic of the section, Making Landfall, is hurricanes. I was sure to put in the section because although the title of the book is What's Hurricanes, we didn't read the whole book. We only read a section. Next, identify a main idea. So remember, our main idea is how hurricanes can be destructive when they hit landfall. Putting that in a sentence, it may sound like the main idea is that hurricanes can be destructive when they hit landfall or when they hit land. Next, we need to identify some key details. Remember the key details are number 1, landfall is when hurricanes reach land, and number 2, trees, homes, and buildings can be destroyed during a hurricane. When we put that in a sentence, it may sound like the first key detail that is given in the text is that landfall is the word used to describe how a hurricane has reached land. The second detail that is expressed through the section is that trees, homes, and buildings can be destroyed during a hurricane. If we put it all together, it flows quite nicely if I do say so myself. Let's read it together. I read What is a Hurricane by Robin Johnson. The topic of the section, Making Landfall, is hurricanes. The main idea is that hurricanes can be destructive when they hit land. The first key detail that is given in the text is that landfall is the word used to describe how a hurricane has reached land. The second detail that is expressed throughout the section is that trees, homes, and buildings can be destroyed during a hurricane. All right. We've been doing a lot of thinking, a lot of writing, and it is time for a freeze dance break. If you're new to freeze dancing, remember when the music plays, you move your body. But when the music freezes, we all freeze. All right, let's get started. DJ, drop the music. Freeze. All right, you guys are amazing freeze dancers. Miss Cummins is a little old, so she's got to catch her breath. But let's keep rolling. It is your favorite time. It's my favorite time. It's right. It's our favorite time. It's 30-minute reading time. Let's set our focus. So we want to make sure that we locate the right books. You want to make sure that you're using books that are targeted towards your weather phenomenon. Meaning, if you're doing your informational book about storm surges, then you need to select informational text to read about storm surges. Where can I locate those books, Ms. Cummings? On the ARC bookshelf. Simply log on to NC Ed Cloud, click the Clever link, click ARC bookshelf. On the left-hand side, click Thematic Libraries and click on Unit 2, Weather, 3rd grade. Scroll around and see what you can find on your weather phenomenon. Let's set a focus. So the two graphic organizers that you used from our previous lesson, you're going to use those graphic organizers again today during your 30-minute reading. Be sure to select different books. The different books will allow your graphic organizer to become more full and more diverse with information to put in your informational book. Now, remember to find a quiet place that you can focus. Try to find text that you can read on your own without the help of an adult. Put away any electronics that you're not using to track your reading time. And last of all, read, read, read. And if I could add one more, research. I'll see you right here for some writing time in just a few. Welcome back, fabulous 3rd graders. I hope you were able to find some amazing information while doing your research. Today during writing time, we're going to focus on our 4-point summary. So pull back out your rubric and whatever text or section of a text that you read today, go ahead and write your 4-point summary. If you need any help, remember you can always rewind the video and watch as I model. Excellent work, 3rd graders, and I'll see you back here soon for another ARC lesson.